Welcome to Clearly Aligned Podcast. We are live in Vegas at the GP Summit. So I'm here with, obviously, Dr. Stephen Schalk, back together again.
I love it.
Woo! It's been a long time.
I feel like I'm the one here saying I'm here with Kelly. Like, that is the... You talk to any doctor and they're like, where's Kelly? I need to talk to Kelly. Where is she? So I feel privileged to be here with you, Kelly.
You better sit back because we have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to keep it brief today because we do have a party to go to. But
yeah.
Yeah, we just thought we would talk about some of the things that we saw this weekend and some of the things that are top of mind that we're still kind of percolating ourselves, things that we would change and things that we definitely want to change in our own practices, just because innovations are coming fast and furious. And I think, well, Jelko said it very clearly at the wrap up today, is that if you're not, he actually said please about 25 times. Please take the big smile photo. Please take the video. It's not a nice to have, it's a need to have, because you're not going to have that key to unlock future doors. And then you're just going to have so much work to do. So you need to kind of keep taking these baby steps with the advances that they're bringing out, which we like, even I am guilty of that because what we do works.
Like, oh, totally.
We have our foundational systems. We've been rocking it. We're successful. Our plans work. Our patients are happy. We're doing all the things.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, do we really need to do the video? Do we really need to do this?
It takes time to change. But no, I agree 100%. The thing about doing anything, whether it's in dentistry, in ortho, in life, is, do you still do the things that you did 20 years ago?
Yeah.
And I think that's such a crucial component to this is, do we want to look back one day and say in 2050, like, we did we're still doing the best of the 2020s?
Yes.
Or right now, would you want to say like, oh, we're doing the best dentistry of 1990 right now in the 2020s?
Exactly.
Right? If we don't adapt and change and improve and utilize the technology and take a hard look at yourself, even though we can be really comfortable. And actually, before Kelly and I were starting this podcast, we were talking about a number of things where we're like, yeah, are these different things that we need to reevaluate and adjust and change? And to me, it's always like, it's never a bad thing if we're changing, because it means that you're using the newest information to get better at what you do, because the pursuit isn't just to stay the same.
No.
The pursuit is, how do we be the best?
Exactly. So yeah, I think we just need to constantly ourselves, and also the responsibility we have that we're teaching other people to be agile, to be pivot, to not get too comfortable in what we think we know, which we're not really those people anyways. We're constantly learning, we're constantly noticing things, and we do take things from lots of different resources and add them to our daily practices and hand them out to our doctors. But yeah, I just think it's a very, very interesting time, and it just goes to show you can't sit back and be too peaceful in it. You've got to keep going. We don't need to be the crazies. We don't need to be like ahead of the wave and like the disruptors. Like, I'm cautious. I like people to try things and experiment. Yeah, you're a little disruptive. But I like other people to try it, and then I want to figure out what are the hacks. So that's my main thing every year when I go to continuing education, is to figure out, there's no way that you're doing that. There must be hacks. There must be hacks around the IP.
Or
there
the
must
systems.
The systems of how are you capturing that 3D video from as easy as you need a tripod. It's best used to capture that video with a tripod, not just like live, my hands moving. Can you imagine trying to capture me? I'd be all over the place. So today I learned,
where's Kelly? Here, there.
They want it to be interactive and fun and talk about something you like, but they don't want you to be like the Jim Carrey of ortho, like me, and moving and dancing around. So they want you to be relatively stable so that you get the good outcome.
Why don't we start?
Yes.
Because some doctors might be hearing us say the video, and they might be saying like, what's this video you talk about? So maybe I'll start off by asking you, Kelly. So tell me, what are some of the things that you took away? Can you describe to me more what is the video?
Okay. So the video, so I think most of us, I would hope most of us are already capturing our facial photos, just those 3 facial photos with the iPhone and
in the app.
Yeah, in the app. So I will back up by saying if you're still using the point and shoot camera, you got to cut that out. Great camera, respect.
Or use the SLR camera for your, like, so in our practice, we do the SLR camera for all of the pictures.
Yes.
And then we come back with an iPhone to take that wide smile.
And you are on the main stage. You just got like a big award and stuff. But the average person who just needs the biceps, obviously your Lumina or your iTero scanner is taking a lot of your photos, but you just need those 3 basic ones. We know that, but you need that big smile photo. So I would hope that most of you are doing that, because without that, you can't get, some of the advances. You can't see that the patient's future smile in their face if you don't take that big smile. Yeah. But now it's gone one step further, and it's launching. It's already launched anyways, but in Q4, it's launching hard, and it's going to be able to help you in your consult to sell your patients on the emotional journey and what their future smile could look like with them chatting and dancing. But you need to take a video. I think it's 30 seconds. I don't know myself because I actually haven't taken it myself.
Yeah, I can go through that. So we've actually been doing this in our practice for maybe the last 8 months since this came into place. So for those who don't know already, what you can do just in general is when you take the wide smile on your iTero Lumina, when you've taken the scan, you're able to utilize the iTero outcome simulator showing the tooth changes from their initial to a post-ortho and also a post-ortho with restorative. And you're able to see those 3 different outcomes, both as the models, but also in the patient's face because of that wide smile. So that is something that if you are not doing it, like we're talking now, like this is a new standard. You need to be doing that because it's educating your patients, and beyond the fact that we can show them models, we can show them with a mirror, we can show them their chipping and wear. But the reality is that patients, even if they say that they're focused on, they're not focused on aesthetics and they're focused on the functional, patients make decisions based off of emotion. Yeah. And when they can see their teeth in their face, even with the static photos, the success rates go up from, if you just took a scan and you didn't show them anything, 5% of cases get accepted. If you use the models with the outcome simulator, without the face at all, it jumps up to 12%. Oh. If you add in the static face showing the teeth in their face, it jumps to 35%. And now this is the next layer, which is utilizing the Invisalign My Practice app, taking the video that Kelly's talking about. That allows the patients then to have the video taken. So we keep ours pretty simple. Okay. We are probably shorter than we should be, but we get the patients, first of all, to count to 10. So we just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And usually kind of around 7, they feel like this is kind of silly.
Yeah.
It's
so
like
have nice
7, 8, and then they start laughing, 9, 10. And then we get them to say, my name is Stephen Schalk. And it's interesting because that's kind of the code we cracked for getting them to actually smile. Because when we had conversations and we'd say, like, what's your favorite baseball team? Yeah. And like, Blue Jays. Yeah. What do you like doing for recreation? Yeah. I like cooking. And so once we got them really just saying this routine, and you can layer other things in that you get them to say. Yeah. Then you can say like, oh my gosh, Snuffleupagus.
I'd have a deck of cards. ChatGPT, help me out. You can be like, take a card, whatever speaks to you. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be
so
good.
Many jobs in digital dentistry.
The next thing, AI questions for getting patients to smile. I'm pretty sure Kelly could get anybody to smile.
I would be dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever it takes.
We're getting that smile. Yes. So you do that. Now, what will happen, though, is if you do a longer video, it will actually cut what it thinks is the best segment of their smile. So you can take a 30-second video, and this is where Kelly was mentioning that if you have a tripod stand, you do need to get the right distance and the right positioning of that patient in order to allow that video to capture the content you're needing to film. Okay. And then what it will do is right now, it's putting it into the iPad on the My Practice app, the Invisalign app. That allows us to then show the patient on the iPad. So in our practice, we'll have the iTero up, and it's got the potentials, the no treatment, the treatment with no restorative, just ortho, and then the treatment with ortho and restorative. And then we'll also have the iPad, and that will be the actual movement of their smile, their laugh, their teeth, showing the changes. And so it's completely like mind-blowing for these patients. Exactly. And so what Jelko was saying in his sessions, and I actually, funny, you want to hear something funny?
Yes.
Well, for you know this, but for all the people who are watching,
I'm like, yes.
you're like, tell
leaning
me.
in. I was leaning in. Yes.
Maybe I should get Kelly to tell. So I got asked to film an ad campaign for Invisalign, and it was during their final session. And so I finished this ad campaign talking about how Invisalign's changed my life. And then my phone, Jeff actually had it. He gives it back to me, and it's blown right up. And so apparently I got an award for us doing 3,000 cases, and was called up on the big stage, and I wasn't there.
I so wanted to go get it, not gonna lie.
I told her she should have. She should have. But so I missed some of this, but the interesting thing is a lot of it is actually stuff that I've heard before because I was in Dubai.
Yes.
And in Dubai, they were talking about all the latest innovations that are coming. And so now it's kind of trickling down. And so, Kelly, talk about what they were then talking about, utilizing this smile with the head scan, the virtual articulator.
Yeah. So I think the key takeaway was basically if you're missing some of these steps and you're like, the video seems like a bit much to me. Like our consult like conversion rate is fantastic. So let's skip skip this. If you're not doing that and you don't have the video, you're going to miss the boat when they start to do this full facial. It's like a digital, it's like an avatar of Stephen, but it's based on his actual scan. So the scan, the x-rays, the photos, the CBCT, and like down to soft tissue. So now not only do you have your ClinCheck, but you can see the teeth moving. You can see the AP changes, whether it's elastics or whatever your ClinCheck, whatever treatment plan you've set up. And you can actually see the soft tissue changes. And when you think about it, so here we go. Standard of care. Hygienists, listen up. Because so we have that, right? So we have all of this amazing data that we know we can 3D print, we can do amazing things. So if that patient was in a car accident and we have this reproducible version of myself, you can rebuild me. Do it better than the average.
Better,
I want a little upgrade as well.
The $1 million woman.
But if you don't have that scan and you haven't, you've skipped the video and you've skipped these steps, you're out of it.
It's a new standard. And I think that's the coolest thing about, I'm so upfront and honest about the fact that when it comes to anything we're doing, we use Invisalign treatment, not because Invisalign's giving us tons of money. Like, I speak for Invisalign usually twice a year at a global symposium and at Summit. That's every other year. So maybe 2 times I'm getting paid. So there's a disclosure here. I do get paid at times to speak for Align. 99.9% of what we do is our own education. And in our own education, we are using Invisalign aligners because they're the best aligners. We're utilizing ClinCheck software because it's the best technology. When you realize that Align is spending more money on research and development than what ClearCorrect, Spark, and Candid all put into their entire platform, like into everything. Their entire revenues that they're getting back and spending in terms of their company, it's incredible to see what Kelly was just describing, right? Being able to see the soft tissue changes in your patient's head because you'll use an iPad. And one of my friends, Dr. Jack Milgate in Australia right now, is on this beta. And so they will actually scan the whole patient's head just with an iPad or a phone. And then they're able to reproduce the entire head. They can integrate the CBCT in. And then this is starting to allow for those things like showing soft tissue changes, whether you're doing extractions or no extractions. Whether your TMD if your joint is going to be changing positions if you have TMD.
Prosthetics, all of that. Like, think about like where this is heading. It's not, it could head there. It's not high in the sky. It's heading there. You can see it right in front of you. So I think that's that is just next level fantastic. So the messaging is make sure you do these little steps as they come out. So if you haven't had the opportunity to come live to courses to find out about them, or you don't come to ours where we reteach them, we do our best to like redistribute it and put our own spin on it, our little efficient spin on it. Try to make it a little better. But that's what happens is advances come out, even like Invisalign Palatal Expander. There's a certain protocol that, that's how it was planned, and we change it up because we as you do more, you learn more.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I'm super excited about that. And then we were talking about, one of the other things is like the optimized attachments, and we're very efficient in practice, and so we've we pick and choose which attachments work best for different scenarios, and to save ourselves chair time as well. And so, even we are rethinking some of our decisions. Still, you have to be very careful. You cannot just press approve just because, the hierarchy of attachments, we know where those inconsistencies are. But also, we have to reflect upon there's so much other magic that is baked into the plastic, pressure points, systems that are working together synergistically, that sometimes if I take something off, I have to realize it's like a domino effect. It's a ripple effect that I don't even see and I don't know. I do know it's causing effects. I don't actually know which ones, though. I don't have the whole picture. Jelko does. So
Jelko, we're coming.
We'll bring him next.
Yeah. John Morton, where are you?
So I think that's where, like, even what we do works. But we've already started changing it. We have a nice mix.
You need to. I think the goal is to always be hopefully humble enough to say, has it changed? Are we still utilizing this as best as we can? And is there anything we should do differently? And if you don't ask that question because you're scared of the answer, then you'll never get better. It's kind of that classic story of someone first gets electricity in their neighborhood, and when they're about to turn it on, all the lights in their house, they invite over all their friends, and they turn on the lights and they see how dirty their house has been. And so two neighbors are at this house and they say, we're never getting electricity because we never want that to be our house. And so instead of going in and cleaning your house and then it's in better condition, if you just refuse to look, of course,
and
you're never going to see
the
right dirt.
Way.
And so I was saying to Kelly, right, that often with different attachment protocols, we'll, in our practice, run things through without any modifications or changes on certain patients to see, because I never want to be that doctor who's using the best of 20 years ago. And instead, we can tailor and create things that are the best in our hands. And it might work better a different way in somebody else's hands, but if you don't try and you don't see, then you'll never know. So I think the one thing for me that's just always so important, I know Kelly feels the same way, is being able to leave on as many attachments as possible at refinement so that you are not wasting time taking them off and putting new ones back on.
That's the thing. And I think too, like, we can get away with that. Luckily, we've done enough cases that, we're skilled enough to know the right amount of degrees, and our plans are really, really great. So when we do choose to put optimized attachments on, or whether we leave them all on, or it's 50-50 or 30, whatever. We can scan over those optimized attachments because they have done their job. We've got the full root tip. We've got the full whatever. And so we can continue to leave them on. And so we haven't wasted chair time. We've got the best of both worlds. And so, I'm being more and more open, and I'm watching plans of experts, top orthodontists who are using optimized, even less attachments, where I'm like, ooh, you're sequentially distalizing all of those teeth with no attachments.
You're giving Kelly some
Makes
stress.
me a little nervous. But they're executing and they're in short amounts of time as well. So they're being efficient and high degree of excellence. And so that's what's intriguing. So I'm staying very open and trying some of those things as well. And I am seeing good results.
Yeah. You know what I just wish? It's the one thing that I'm like, come on, this is what I want. The ability to have optimized attachments on the lingual of the upper anterior teeth for an aesthetic protocol. Because that's one of the challenges we run into, is that almost all of our adult patients choose but attachments on the inside. And so there's no other option than conventional. So, but dare to dream.
And that's a perfect example too, where you could do fantastic optimized attachments, leave them on, and we know where the missing pieces are. And if you pepper in some conventional on the linguals or different things, you could get away with some of the missing dynamics, like the torque that won't express, or the root tip that won't express. And
I would say, even in this conversation, what I think is so cool about it is that there's so many different ways to do things and that we could have success. So that's the great thing about orthodontics is Lyle Johnson said everything works when it comes to class 2 correction. Is it an activator, a bionator, a twin block, a Mara, a Herbst?
Yes.
Right? It's the same thing with aligner protocol. Stefan Reinhardt has a slightly different protocol than me. Fred Poirier, a little bit different with his. But yet you see Sean Holliday, Willie Dan, like
all very successful.
All very successful with
Yeah.
completely different protocols. But as long as we understand the biomechanics and the attachments and how they actually function, then you can make as many modifications and alterations as you want, or as few, as long as you know what the next step is if things don't express the way you're hoping they do.
And so one other key takeaway, which we talk about all the time, scanning every patient. So, I mean, we can say that till we're like blue in the face. And a lot of the times it is the team. So team is busy. We get it. And we have so much to do. And hygienists, like we're totally, it's hard. I'm in rooms full of hygienists a lot. And I'm like, we're the toughest people to sell. But I will say at this point, I will say that the scanning is a standard of care, and we just saw so many of the advances that, like the iTero Lumina is offering. It's showing attachment levels, probing depths. It's going to be doing your charting for you, showing caries and lesions, and it's next level. We just saw it. So it's coming soon. And if you're not scanning, you're basically doing 20th century charting. You are probing, you might have it software, but still, you're still doing all of that manual. You're doing manual jobs, 20th century hygiene work or new patient exams and whatnot, when the tools exist. And you're basically just not using the tool that's right there. I mean, you can scan in less than 2 minutes for sure. It just makes zero sense. And so there were some people here today who were like, you know what? I would just make a blanket statement at a certain point. This is a standard of care. I'm the employer. If you are choosing not to practice like this, or you're refusing to do a scan, it's been wonderful to have you in my care. You're welcome to go to a 20th century office, because that's not the way I'm going to practice. And that seems a bit harsh. And I mean, I don't want to get fired. I wouldn't want to get fired. But the thing is, you can't just decide, no, I don't have time for that. I only have time for the bite wings, or I only have time to,
totally.
Profi
Well,
jet.
and just some practical thoughts for dentists who are maybe watching this and listening right now is, how do we explain to our staff why we're doing this? Because, and it's funny, Kelly will give you why the staff need to get better, and then I'll give you the opposite, which normally is probably the opposite around. But so it makes sense from the perspective of, it's challenging for staff to have a doctor go to a gum grafting course, and then we're changing everything here, and then we're going to a different course, and we're changing all these things. And so we often come back and we're full of ideas. We're dreaming dentists, and we want to do better, but we fail so frequently at actually implementing it that it feels like this is either another flash in the pan, or there'll be something next week. But the reality is this is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if we give our staffs incentives. It doesn't matter if we even threaten to maybe fire them. In my opinion, what the staff have to understand more than anything else is why.
Yes.
You said it already. This is the standard of care. This is for the patient's health and well-being. Because if you ask any doctor, any hygienist, any assistant, why did you go into this profession? Well, for a doctor, if you say, well, maybe people think, well, make money. Well, if you were going to do that, go be an investment banker. Right? For hygienists, same thing. There's so many other things you could be doing that are so much easier than what you do cleaning, not you, but than hygienists do, cleaning teeth and educating their patients, and assistants being involved with the patient care. And so staff do it because they want to help patients. So if that is the situation, that you want to help your patients, do you know what is one of the best tools to help your patients understand? Because what are we doing sometimes when we will literally be cleaning these crooked, chipped, broken teeth time and time again, but we don't have 5 minutes to give to talking to them about their problem, or 5 minutes to scan their teeth and educate them about their problem, right? It's so critical that we improve the standard of care for these patients. And so if they don't understand the why and they don't buy into the why, then we're not going to be able to get them on board. And so I think that's the first thing that I think as doctors for your team, that you need to explain to them, why does this matter?
Exactly.
And if you have that passion and enthusiasm, and if you want, utilize the resources that we help provide to explain to them these things. Like, one of the most impactful lectures that we have is, you don't know what you don't know, right? Where you can watch it in your office with your staff, so they see the value of, why does it even need to be treated? Why do these malocclusions require change? So I just think that's the thing. If you can get that into your head as the doctor, why does this matter? And then to the staff, why does it matter? Then the resistance just will fall away.
It really all comes down to education. So we're going to be in business forever.
and motivation. I'd say education and
yeah.
motivation. And I do always say that even if all these innovations and changes make it so that we actually can click accept on the first ClinCheck every single time, we're both so secure in our jobs, because there's so much more to it than just the ClinCheck and the biomechanics side.
Yeah.
There's so much involved in terms of education to the patients and motivation to those patients and the staff about how to do these things.
Exactly.
And so no matter what,
like there's so many routes, the leadership, the motivation, the education, and then the planning. The planning is almost like you delegate that. I mean, learn it for sure so you understand it. But that's why so many great orthodontists and high-level GPs are delegating their treatment planning because they're like, okay, I totally understand it. Now I don't really need to do that anymore.
Yeah, give the insights and then come in after the plan's created to make sure.
Maybe take some more leadership courses and some more innovation and some more system integration because that's usually where people are falling. They're not accountable.
Struggles,
So
totally.
Anyways, we could talk forever, but we got to go to our summer soiree and dance the night away. So anyway, so good to catch up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, and congratulations on your big award.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure it's a lot more than 3,000, but I think someone didn't count correctly.
Well, maybe we're just not up to 4 yet, I guess. So maybe.
You think so?
Well,
I don't know. We'll do the math.
We'll see what 2 years brings.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go from 3 to 13 2 years.
Yeah, love it.
It's possible.
Pleasure as always, Kelly. All right, bye guys.
Okay.